I grip my water glass so tightly that my fingers ache. But I won't let my mother see how much her words sting. Amanda, you'll never measure up to your sister. The chandelier light reflects through the crystal, scattering prisms across the white tablecloth as silence settles heavily over our family dinner. Tonight is Sierra's promotion celebration, the reason we're all gathered around my parents' polished mahogany table on a Wednesday evening. I barely made it after a 10-hour workday, swapping only my wrinkled blouse for a clean one before rushing over. Mom, Sierra begins, but stops when our mother raises her hand. It's just the truth, dear. Your sister chose stability over ambition. Nothing wrong with that, but we have to face reality. My father clears his throat, staring down at his half-eaten salmon. Your mother's right, Amanda. Sierra is on track to become vice president before 30. Different choices, different results. I glance at Sierra, elegant in her crimson dress, her hair flawless even after a full day at the office. Then at my mother, wearing the pearl necklace I gave her last Christmas, the same one she dismissed as nice but not my style, yet wears proudly at all of Sierra's milestones. Something inside me finally breaks. 2 years of silence push their way to the surface. I stand, open my purse, and pull out the mortgage statement I've been carrying for days. There's never a right moment for this, but I no longer care. I've been paying your bills for 2 years, I say, placing the paper on the table, including this house. My mother's eyes widen, but she quickly regains composure and waves her hand as if brushing away dust. The gesture makes my stomach twist. That's what family does. Sierra needs to focus on her career. My mind flashes back to Sierra's college graduation 6 years ago, when my parents handed her the keys to a brand new red Mazda, complete with a bow on the hood. That same afternoon, they gave me a small bag containing a coffee mug with my college logo. You're already settled, Mom explained then. Your sister needs more support. Later came the first call 2 years ago. Dad's voice was unusually hesitant, asking for help with just one mortgage payment until things stabilized. But 2 years of monthly payments isn't temporary. Family helps one another, Mom insists, her voice sharper now. Why are you being selfish? I reach into my bag again and pull out a folder stuffed with receipts, bank statements, transfers, canceled checks. 2 years of evidence neatly filed. I've helped plenty, I say, my voice steadier than my shaking hands. But I'm not your ATM. My father's face flushes red. Your sister is at a critical stage in her career. And I'm at a critical stage in my patience, I reply, surprising myself with the firmness in my voice. Sierra looks between us, her brow furrowed. What's going on? No one answers. My mother glares at me, my father stares at the ceiling, and I suddenly realize what I'm risking. These are the people who raised me, the sister I once tutored and drove to dance recitals. Yet in this moment, I see how my worth has always been measured. Not in love, not in shared memories, but in the money I provide while staying quietly in the background. I'll be stepping back from family dinners, I say, gathering my purse and family payments. My mother's face hardens. You'll regret this, Amanda. Family is all we have in this world. I pause at the doorway, strangely lighter. Then I suppose I have nothing. A week passes after that dinner. Aside from Sierra's occasional texts, my parents remain silent. Then, on Thursday afternoon, my mother calls, asking me to organize her tax paperwork, since you're so good with numbers. It's a backhanded compliment, one that acknowledges my skill while dismissing my career. I never meant to find it, but as I sifted through the cluttered stack of documents on her desk, a familiar name caught my eye, mine. I freeze. A student loan statement in my hand, not mine, but Sierra's. The numbers blur, then come into sharp focus with alarming clarity. A payment of $1,900 confirmed with my account number. My hands shake as I flip through more documents. Car payments. Credit card bills. My chest tightens until I can barely breathe. These weren't emergencies. They weren't one-time help. This was systematic, planned, expected, footsteps approach. My mother appears in the doorway, her pearl necklace, my Christmas gift, resting against a crisp white blouse. Did you find the mortgage interest forms? She asks, then notices the papers in my hands. Something flashes across her face. Not guilt, but irritation at being caught. What is this? My voice sounds foreign, like it doesn't belong to me. Dad appears behind her, glasses balanced on his forehead, Sierra lingers in the hall, thumbs tapping her phone, barely looking up. Amanda, don't make a scene, Mom says, stepping further inside. Dad follows, both of them standing over me as I sit in the leather chair. The ledger rests open between us like evidence. You used my money to pay Sierra's student loans. I point to the statement. $19,400, Mom waves it off. You were supporting the family. Her loans were the priority. And her car payments? I hold up another sheet. $3,600 last year. Transportation is necessary for her work, Dad explains, adjusting his glasses. She meets with clients. And the credit cards? I spread out more pages. $9,000, designer clothes, restaurants. A professional image matters in marketing, Mom replies smoothly. Finally, Sierra puts her phone away and shrugs. I didn't ask for this. Mom said you were fine with it. The air feels suffocating. 2 years I thought I was covering a temporary setback, when really, I'd been funding Sierra's lifestyle. She needs freedom to grow her career, Dad says. As if it's obvious. You're stable, reliable, the practical one, the dependable daughter meant to carry the star. I push back from the desk. My own student loans aren't even paid off. Every spare dollar has gone toward these bills. That's different, Mom says. Your field doesn't demand the same presentation. The comparison hangs unspoken. Software engineering versus marketing. Behind the scenes versus public recognition. Invisible versus celebrated. Do you realize what this is doing to my future? My voice is steady now. If I keep covering everything, I'll have nothing left for myself. Mom blinks, genuinely puzzled. Family supports family, Amanda. That's what we've always taught you. Her eyes brighten. Sierra's wedding is coming soon. You'll help with that too. She deserves a perfect day. The assumption knocks the breath out of me. I flip to the back of the ledger where every payment is tallied. The number glares up at me. $61,000, 2 years of mortgage payments, loans, car bills, credit cards. $61,000 spent propping up a system that kept me in the shadow. I close the book with trembling hands. I hadn't just supported them. I'd financed their favoritism. Later that day, I show the ledger to Diane, my colleague and closest friend. In a quiet cafe, our coffee grows cold as she studies the pages. This isn't normal family support, she says finally, shutting the book and sliding it back. This is exploitation. The word lands heavy. Exploitation, not help, not duty. A deliberate misuse. That night, driving home with copies of the ledger in my bag, I face the choice I can no longer avoid. Should I stop all financial support at once and let my family face reality? Or should I reduce it gradually, giving them time to adjust? The first choice could break relationships permanently, while the second would mean more months of financial stress for me. What do you do when those who should love you unconditionally only value what you can provide? Next Wednesday morning at work, my phone buzzes for the 5th time this week. My cousin again. The family has called an emergency meeting, but I have no intention of going. I silence the phone and place it face down, watching it light up almost instantly. Everyone is talking about the Morris family reunion. Avoiding someone? Diane asks from her cubicle, raising an eyebrow. My mother planned a reunion without telling me, I explain, rubbing my temples. Now she expects me to pay for it. Diane's eyes widen. The nerve after everything else they've taken. I nod. Scanning my inbox were 3 emails from distant aunts and uncles wait. Each one a variation of the same request. The family needs help. And I'm the one expected to provide it. Did you know about this reunion? I ask Diane. No, but your sister's engagement is everywhere on social media, she replies, turning her screen toward me. There it is. Sierra's smiling face, a diamond ring sparkling on her hand. The caption reads, "Planning the celebration of the century for my beautiful daughter. Blessed." My stomach knots at the first comment beneath it. Amanda will help make it perfect. I've become the family's ATM, and now they're making promises in my name. That evening, I sit on my couch with tea scrolling through Facebook. My thumb freezes on a photo from 5 weeks ago. My parents and Sierra in front of the Las Vegas sign, cocktails in hand. The timestamp shows it was the same weekend I worked overtime to cover their overdue property tax. They had used my money to party in Vegas while claiming they couldn't make ends meet. In the following days, sleep becomes nearly impossible. I lie awake, running numbers in my head. How much I've given, how much they've demanded, how much I still have left. The pressure on my chest grows so heavy it feels hard to breathe. At work, my focus slips. During one meeting, I catch myself thinking about the second notice on my student loan, while Sierra's debts are long cleared, using my money. "You look exhausted," my boss says one Thursday morning after I miss a deadline for the first time in 3 years. "I'm fine," I reply, though the dark circles under my eyes tell otherwise. I start keeping a journal, logging every call, every request, every transfer. That small leather book becomes my proof. Inside, I record the cycle of manipulation that has defined our family for years. Sierra's achievements casually mentioned, followed by demands for money, guilt trips when I hesitate, dinners I pay for but barely get acknowledged at. Page by page, the evidence grows into a clear record of exploitation. One Tuesday, as I leave the office, I hear my name. "Amanda?" It's Uncle Frank waiting by the elevator, his face lined with concern. "Uncle Frank?" I say, surprised. "I've been looking for you," he says. "You've missed the last 3 gatherings." "That's not like you." I lower my gaze, unsure what to say. "I always thought you were the backbone of this family," he continues softly. "Now I wonder if they've been using that strength." His words strike me harder than I expect, and I fight back sudden tears. That Saturday, I sit in my parents' kitchen. Sierra flips through bridal magazines while my mother marks venue options in red pen. "The country club deposit is due next week," she says without looking up. "Sierra deserves the perfect celebration. You can cover it." Not a question. An order. Something in me breaks, clear and final. "I'm not paying another cent," I say steadily. "For anything." Silence falls. Sierra's head snaps up. My mother freezes, pen in midair. "Don't be ridiculous," she mutters, though doubt flashes across her face. "I'm serious," I reply, my voice calm but firm. "I've paid the mortgage, Sierra's loans, credit cards, car payments. I'm done." My mother's lips open and close like a fish, searching for the usual manipulative words that once held power. But for the first time, I see through them clearly. The guilt, the comparisons, the subtle criticisms disguised as concern. I realize I've been funding my own mistreatment. "You can't just," she starts. "I can," I cut in. And I am. The next day, Diane spreads spreadsheets across her dining table, calculator in hand. "Without supporting them," she says, circling a number, "you could pay off your student loans in 3 years instead of 15. The number stares back at me, a future I never thought possible. That evening, Uncle Frank calls. "I spoke with your mother," he says. "She's not happy, I know." "Good," he replies firmly. "Sometimes family must learn tough lessons. I'm proud of you for setting boundaries." That night, I open my laptop and begin looking for jobs beyond Austin. Seattle stands out, tech positions with better pay, a chance for a fresh start 3,000 miles away. For the first time, I picture a life shaped by my own needs and ambitions, not my family's demands. The following morning, I drive to the bank and request records for the past 2 years. The clerk raises an eyebrow at the stack but complies. Hours later, I sort the papers chronologically, highlighting each payment made to my parents. Among my father's files, I uncover an account I've never seen before, with a balance that contradicts every claim of financial struggle. While I've been draining my savings, he's been hiding money. As I process this, my phone rings. My mother's name flashes. "We're having an emergency family meeting tomorrow," she announces sharply. "The mortgage payment didn't come through." "I know," I reply calmly. "I told you I'm done paying." "This isn't a game, Amanda," she snaps. "Be here at 6. I hang up, staring at the documents spread across my table, evidence of years of manipulation. For the first time, the power is in my hands. "I'll be there," I whisper, with receipts. On Tuesday evening, I arrive 15 minutes early, parking 2 houses down from my parents' colonial-style home. The 3-inch black binder on my passenger seat represents 2 years of financial sacrifice, organized to the last detail. Uncle Frank's words from this morning echo in my head. Don't let them control the narrative. The smell of lemon polish greets me as I step inside. My parents sit at opposite ends of the dining table like rulers awaiting judgment. Sierra sits between them, scrolling her phone nervously. "You're early," Mom says, surprise flashing across her face before she composes herself. I set the binder in the center of the table. The soft thud commands attention. I wanted to be sure we had enough time. Dad shifts. "Time for what exactly?" I open to the first tab labeled mortgage. Inside are bank statements, transfer slips, and totals. Time to review everything I've paid over the past 2 years. Let's start with the mortgage. 24 payments of $1,200 each. That's $28,800. Mom's eyebrows shoot up. That can't be right. I flip to the next tab. Student loans. Not mine. Sierra's. $9,400. Dad's face pales as his fingers drum against the polished table. Car payments for Sierra's Mazda. $3,600. Another page turns. And credit card bills, mostly for restaurants. Clothing and Sierra's trips, $9,200. Sierra's phone slips from her hand, clattering on the table. That's more than I make in 3 months. I turn to the summary, the total highlighted in yellow. The grand total is $61,000. Mom's lips tighten. You're exaggerating. Half of that was gifts. You offered to help. I have proof for every dollar, I reply. I pull out a manila folder holding copies of every check and transfer receipt. The weight of the stack lands firmly beside the binder. Would you like to review them one by one? I ask. This is absurd, Dad mutters, though his eyes refuse to meet mine. Sierra reaches for the folder, flipping through the pages with unsteady hands. Her usual confidence fades when she pauses at a credit card statement showing charges for her interview suits. I had no idea, she whispers. Mom said you were glad to help, Sierra adds, confusion clouding her eyes. She told me you wanted to contribute because your tech job gave you extra money. Extra money? My laugh comes out sharper than I intended. I still have student loans to pay. I've delayed dental work because I couldn't afford it. There was never extra money. When Sierra asks why I never told her the full extent of my support, I hesitate. Should I reveal that our parents swore me to secrecy to protect her confidence, or let her uncover their manipulation herself? Before I can answer, the doorbell rings. Perfect timing, Mom says, smoothing her cardigan. We're in the middle of something. That'll be Uncle Frank, I reply. I asked him to come. Dad's head jerks up. Frank? Why would you? But Frank's booming voice cuts in from the entryway. Hello, everyone. Hope I'm not late. He steps inside, settling into a chair beside me. His usual cheer has shifted into seriousness. I see Amanda's showing you the numbers, he says, nodding at the binder. You knew? Mom asks, her voice laced with betrayal. I suspected, Frank answers. Family helps in emergencies, not as a permanent solution. What you've done to Amanda isn't right, Elaine. The silence that follows feels heavy, pressing down on all of us. Mom looks between her brother and me, realizing her carefully crafted story is unraveling. For the first time, I'm not standing alone. Sierra breaks the quiet. Jenna asked me yesterday why Amanda never comes to family events anymore. She seemed worried, like she knew something was wrong. Your friends don't understand our family dynamics, Mom says quickly. But uncertainty creeps into her tone. The Hendersons called last week, Frank adds. They asked if the rumors were true, that you were having financial troubles while spending on luxuries. Dad's face reddens. That's none of their concern. The room falls silent again until Sierra's phone buzzes with a new message. She glances at it, then looks up, her eyes wide. It's from the mortgage company, she says, turning to our parents. They're sending a late notice. I watch as Dad's shoulders sink and Mom's practiced calm slips away. Cracks are forming in the facade they've maintained for so long. Their house of cards is collapsing, and for the first time, I'm not holding it up. 2 days later, I sit across from my parents at their kitchen table. Dust floats in the light between us. The space feels smaller now, less intimidating. Dad's smile is strained as he slides a paper toward me. Amanda, we've been thinking, he begins, clearing his throat. We understand your concerns about the financial situation. Mom nods quickly, her eyes darting toward the stack of overdue bills peeking from under a cookbook. Families should acknowledge each other's contributions, she says. We haven't done that enough with you. The words sound rehearsed. I watch their performance with new clarity, Dad's fingers tapping nervously on the table, Mom's eyes flicking to the bills she can't quite hide. We have a compromise, my mother says. If you resume the mortgage payments, we'll make sure everyone understands how much you've been helping, Sierra as well. My father leans in. Think about what's at risk, Amanda. Once family ties break, they rarely mend. Is that what you want? Their words linger, a final attempt to hold on to control. 2 months ago, I might have given in. 2 weeks ago, I might have negotiated. Today, I simply open my laptop. I've accepted a new role, I say, turning the screen toward them. Software architect at Meridian Tech in Seattle. I start next month. The color drains from my mother's face. Seattle? That's across the country. The salary is $135,000, I continue, pulling up a spreadsheet. That's $33,000 more than I earn now. My father leans forward. That's wonderful, honey, but... And without covering this household, I interrupt, pointing to a row in my budget. I'll save about $200 each month, my mother's lips pressed together. You can't just leave. I've been paying for the privilege of being disrespected, I reply steadily. That ends now. Dad reaches for my hand, but I pull back. Amanda, be reasonable. I am being reasonable, for the first time in years. My phone buzzes with a text from Uncle Frank. Everyone's here, ready when you are. I need to go, I say, closing the laptop. Sierra's dinner begins in 30 minutes. My parents follow as I head to the restaurant. The private room Uncle Frank reserved is filled with the sound of conversation. Sierra sits at the head of the table in a cream-colored dress, surrounded by relatives I haven't seen in months. My parents trail in behind me, confusion on their faces. What's going on? My mother whispers. I don't answer. Instead, I walk to Sierra. She looks up, her smile faltering. Amanda, what is this? I set a wrapped gift box before her, the silver paper catching the chandelier's light. I wanted to show you something. To all of you, I say clearly. The room grows quiet. Open it. Sierra unwraps the package, revealing a leather-bound portfolio filled with financial records, receipts, and statements from the past 2 years. Here's my gift, the truth about who's been supporting you. Sierra flips through the pages, confusion turning to shock. It's all there, I say softly. $61,000 over 2 years. Her eyes fill with tears as she looks at our parents frozen near the doorway. How could you? She asks. My mother steps forward. Sierra, this isn't the place. No, Sierra says firmly, holding up a page. We need to face this now, Uncle Frank stands. Your sister has been carrying this family while being treated as if she's less successful than you. Aunt Patricia gasps. Martha, is this true? My mother's face reddens as murmurs spread. My father stares at the floor. Sierra rises, still holding the portfolio, and comes to me. Her voice drops to a whisper. I never knew you carried so much for me. From now on, live for yourself. The room falls silent as Sierra confronts our parents, demanding answers I've long wanted. A weight lifts inside me, years of resentment and obligation beginning to loosen. Later that week, Uncle Frank tells me my parents are considering selling their house. Without my contributions, they can't manage the mortgage. Part of me wonders if any relationship can be saved, or if I even want to try. I tape another moving box in my apartment, marking it kitchen. Seattle awaits. A new job, a new home, a new beginning. As I wrap glasses in newspaper, I find a photo album I'd hidden years ago. Inside are faded pictures of vacations, holidays, birthdays, smiling faces that now feel like strangers. I close it and place it in a box labeled undecided. 6 months later, morning light fills my Seattle apartment, casting a golden glow across the dining table. I glance at a notification from my student loan app. Another $2,400 paid this month. No more mortgage payments for my parents. No more bailouts for Sierra. Just my own financial freedom, one step at a time. My laptop chimes with an incoming video call. Diane's face appears on the screen, her Atlanta kitchen in the background. Look at you. Seattle suits you, she says, sipping coffee from her oversized mug. You seem different. I straighten my shoulders. I closed 2 major projects this quarter. My team lead says I'm on track for a promotion by December, and no one taking credit for your work this time. Diane observes. I laugh, a full laugh rising freely from my chest. It feels strange not having to downplay my success to keep others comfortable. What about that hiking group you mentioned? She asks. We're planning a weekend trip to Mount Rainier next month, I reply. I pause, then add, I've been seeing someone. Nothing serious yet, but I'm open to it. Diane's smile widens. That's the real victory. Later that evening, I slip into a sage green dress for my company dinner. As I fasten my simple gold necklace, my reflection meets me with shoulders back, chin lifted, eyes steady. The woman who left Austin 6 months ago would have hunched slightly, trying to appear smaller. The banquet room buzzes with conversation when I arrive. My department head waves me over to a front table. There she is, she announces. Amanda's client satisfaction scores were the highest in the company this quarter. The Reynolds account even requested her for the next phase. Applause follows. My cheeks warm, but I don't deflect or diminish the moment. I simply say, thank you. I'm proud of the work we've done. When the woman beside me asks about family, the question doesn't tighten my stomach as it once did. My parents and I are taking some space, I say calmly. Butter knife steady in my hand. My sister and I are working toward a more honest relationship. No shame fills my voice. No excuses cover the silence. Just truth, simply said. Sometimes family is complicated, she responds. Yes, I agree. And sometimes it's exactly what it seems. The weekend brings Diane and Uncle Frank to Seattle. We gather in my small living room. Takeout containers scattered across the coffee table. Uncle Frank raises his glass of Pinot Noir. To Amanda, he says, who showed me it's never too late to choose your true family, Diane adds. To building the family you choose, not just accepting the one you were born into. We clink glasses, their words settling deeply within me. The following Tuesday, an unexpected email lands in my inbox. Sierra's name in the sender field makes my finger hover over the delete button, but curiosity wins. I took over Mom and Dad's mortgage payments last month. She writes they weren't happy about it. Dad even suggested I ask you to help until I get stable. I told him I've been stable for years, just not financially independent. That's changing now. Her email continues, sharing her struggles with budgeting and responsibility. It's harder than I expected, she admits, but also more rewarding. I think I finally understand what you've been trying to tell me. I reread the final lines twice. Mom and Dad want to visit you. I told them that's your decision, not mine. They don't see why you won't let bygones be bygones. But I'm starting to. I'd like to visit sometime, just me. If you're open, my reply is short but sincere. Not ready for Mom and Dad yet. But I'd love to show you Seattle in the spring. That evening, as I close my laptop, I think about the fine line between forgiveness and self-protection. Sierra seems to be changing by facing our family's patterns, but our parents remain the same. What would you do? Try to rebuild ties with those unwilling to change, or put your energy into relationships with people who respect your boundaries?